if you're trying to make real power without wasting money, the first thing I'm telling you every single time is get an ECU tune. That's hands down the best horsepower per dollar you can get, especially if you're driving something turbocharged. A simple tune can completely wake the car up, like we're talking a noticeable jump in power that you actually feel when you hit the gas. It's the kind of mod that makes your car feel like a different machine overnight. On the price side, a low-end tune will usually run you around $300 to $500, and a more solid, intermediate, or custom tune is more like $500 to $1,200 plus, depending on the shop. But I gotta keep it real with you. If you go cheap or get a bad tune, you can mess up your engine, and yeah, it can void your warranty too. Now, if you're trying to take things to the next level and actually make your car fast, not just quick, that's when you start looking at a turbo upgrade, or even adding a turbo or supercharger if your car didn't come with one. This is where the real horsepower comes in, like serious gains that push you back in your seat. Price-wise, this is a big jump. Low-end builds start around $2,000 to $3,000, and a more complete intermediate setup is usually $4,000 to $9,000 plus, depending on parts and labor. But this isn't cheap, and it's not simple either. Once you go this route, you're putting more stress on the engine, and you're probably going to need supporting mods to keep everything running right. It's worth it, but only if you're ready to commit. Another solid move is upgrading your downpipe and exhaust, especially on turbo cars. This helps your engine breathe better and lets the turbo spool faster, so you're actually gaining power while also getting that aggressive sound everyone loves. It's one of those mods that makes your car feel more alive. Cost-wise, a basic setup can be around $600 to $1,000, while a more complete intermediate setup lands around $1,200 to $2,000 plus. The downside, though, it can get loud, like really loud, and depending on where you live, it might not even be legal because of emissions. Then you got cold air intakes, which a lot of people start with. I'm not gonna lie, it's a good beginner mod. It's cheap, easy to install, and it makes your car sound better right away. You might get a little bit of horsepower, but don't expect anything crazy. Price-wise, a low-end intake is about $150 to $300, and a better intermediate one is around $300 to $600. It's more about the feel and sound, unless you pair it with other mods. Still, it's a good first step into building your car. And finally, one of the most underrated things people overlook is the intercooler. It's not going to give you big horsepower numbers by itself, but what it does is keep your car consistent. When you're pushing your car hard, heat kills performance, and a good intercooler helps keep everything cool, so you don't lose power over time. For pricing, you're looking at about $300 to $800 on the low end, and $800 to $1,500 plus for a solid intermediate setup. It's more of a smart mod than an exciting one, but if you're serious about performance, you need it. But at the end of the day, if you're building your car the right way, you don't just throw random parts on it. You stack your mods. Start with a tune, add airflow mods like intake and downpipe, and then go bigger if you want real power. And honestly, once you start getting into big builds, like turbo setups and fully built engines, the best ones don't really have a price limit. That's when it stops being about budget and starts being about how far you want to push your car.